Greetings, friends, and welcome to episode 269 of the Projekt Gemineye update. So, this is going to be sort of a short video for today. First of all, today is January 17th, 2026. It is a Saturday. As you might have heard, we got hit by quite a bit of snow here on Thursday and Friday, uh, which was an understatement. We got like 50 centimeters. It's crazy how much snow we got here, which has unfortunately delayed some of my mailing of the CDs. But a lot of you have probably already gotten your copies of the CDs. There's been all the Canadian ones are out. They should probably be with you already by now for most people. And I've even gotten some messages from some UK people that have received theirs already as well. So that's some great news. Just to let you know, Monday I'll be continuing to send out the rest of the UK and European stuff. And next week I'll be getting the box out over to the US person, the US guy, to get your CDs out to you soon. So thank you again for your support and your patience. Your albums, your CDs, better yet, will be coming to you very shortly. The pre-order for the vinyl will be starting in the next week or two, so keep your eyes open for that. I'll talk about that more in detail once I get to the pre-order itself. What else I wanted to talk about? I sort of wrote everything down here. But I guess in a nutshell, I just wanted to say thank you to everybody. Oh, the other thing I was going to say, is on Bandcamp right now, I have maybe about 11 CDs left. So I've dropped the price down to $8 in hopes of maybe getting the last of these sold, so I can actually have a sold out CD. That'll be great. That'll be the first of my CDs. There's still copies of my other albums on CD because I've ordered such a huge amount of them before. Foolishly thinking, oh well, more I ordered, less per unit it costs. Blah blah. Anyways, but yeah, so I'm almost sold out of this, and that's great. Thank you again for all your support of the CD and of the album, obviously. And yeah, I'm hoping that the vinyl will be more of the same. It usually is. You guys are really awesome with the buying of the album, and there will be some things to talk about with that. Some additions with it. So. Thank you for that. Now, the other thing I wanted to do this time is I wanted to continue my little series that I started, which was albums that turned 50. Sorry, albums that turned 50 and how they have inspired me. So this is technically episode 2 of that. So the first one I talked about 2112 and how it inspired me, and that's pretty obvious. But the next record I want to talk about may not be as obvious, and that is Kiss's Rock and Roll Over. Now this is a Japanese pressing. I believe it's a Japanese first pressing of the album. That came out in '76. It has the camel label on here, which is the center label only came out in '76 and was changed around '77 when Love Gun came out, and that turned into the Casablanca Filmworks label. Now, how did this album inspire me? Well, many ways. I was a big hater of Destroyer. I've never liked that album. I thought that Bob Ezrin turned Kiss into something that I just did not like at that point. I was so used to Alive and all the records that came before it. They were so raw and gritty and guitar based, and he turned Destroyer turned it into a more orchestrated, grandiose, pompous sort of thing with, orchestras and choirs and bells and just stuff that I just didn't want to hear with Kiss songs. So that album has still rubbed me the wrong way. So when this album came out, and Kiss knew that the fans didn't like that album initially when it came out. So when this came out, it was back to roots of rock, all hard rock guitars, raw drums and bass, vocals and lyrics about girls and partying and stuff like that. And while lyrically this album has never really inspired me, musically it has. The sort of raw Marshall guitar sounds is something that I try to, emulate a bit on my records as well. This era is still a little bit more, uh, like not as crunchy for my likings, but it's very close to the kind of Marshall sounds I like. Gene's growly bass is very evident on some of my bass playing as well. It's sort of like a meaner, more dirtier version of a Chris Squire bass sound. Uh, and vocally, Paul and Gene do a great job. They're definitely something I strive to be as far as good vocals go. Not really so much their style of singing, but the quality of their singing I've always admired and would love to emulate that. So, and Ace Frehley's guitar playing and his leads are something that are pretty evident in some of my lead playing. I like the pentatonic stuff that he does, and I do add some of that in my playing as well. And this album is definitely one of those things that has a lot of that sort of pentatonic licks in there. I mean, just listen to the solo for Calling Dr. Love. It's one of his best guitar solos, and it's got everything, hammer on pull offs, flanger effect stuff on there, all kinds of cool licks on there, and stuff that, I have in my little toolbox of lead playing as well. Um, More importantly, these songs are very well written, well structured. They're not very long, which is completely opposite of what I write, but they all have strong parts, strong verse, strong chorus, strong intro riff. There's always a good guitar lick that you'll remember on here, and that's one of the things that this record has truly tried to inspire me. If you're gonna write a guitar part, try to write a part that people will remember, one that somebody can hum and have it ringing around in their head for the rest of the day. So there's Rock and Roll Over and how it inspired me. One more thing I'll say about this record. This Another person that inspired me on here is Eddie Kramer. He was the guy who produced and mixed it. His sort of raw drum tones are something I really loved. How to get drums to sound that sort of big without making them overwhelm everything else. The way he kind of places stuff in the stereo field is very interesting. And when you listen to an album like this on headphones, you can hear some very interesting placement of instruments and the tone of the drums and how he places it around in the stereo spectrum. So another important and very influential part of that record is Eddie Kramer's production work. So that's it for now. I will talk to you guys very soon about the vinyl version of the record and the pre-order and what's going to be going on with that. And until then, have a great weekend, my friends, and I'll talk to you all very soon. Bye for now.